To decline. Result. Attempt. Item number. SCP-1. Object Class. Safe. Formerly Keter. Special Containment Procedures. Following the recent investigations of Dr. Robert Montauk, no action is currently needed to contain SCP-1. It is functionally self-containing, and any Foundation interference may harm or alter its containment irreversibly. No Foundation personnel are to engage with any new matters related to SCP-1, with the exception of related anomalies already in Foundation containment. Description: SCP-1 is an entity ordinarily referred to as the Scarlet King. SCP-1 is currently located in several alternate dimensions simultaneously, and is unable to enter the Prime Dimension. However, it is believed to have been repeatedly attempting entry for a period of under 300 years, previously several thousand. SCP-1's physical, mental, and conceptual properties are unknown to the Foundation. Nevertheless, it continues to assert a strong influence on a number of individuals and events within the Prime Dimension. It is believed that SCP-1's existence represents an ongoing but dormant Tashkent class cross-pollination scenario. Should SCP-1 enter the Prime Timeline, an irreparable alteration to normalcy will occur. Containment of SCP-1 is, however, unnecessary. Previously top priority. Any attempt to alter SCP-1's classification or object class will result in immediate dismissal from the O5 Council. References in art and oral tradition to SCP-1 appear across a wide variety of human and non-human cultures across the universe, including in communities which have never previously had any contact with one another. Common descriptions within these traditions are of a red creature of immense size, ordinarily wearing a golden crown or other headdress signifying royalty. Although the names ascribed to SCP-1 vary, the majority contain two elements: a word signifying some form of royalty combined with a word signifying the color red. Cultures which do not have a concept of the color red but follow this naming pattern will universally use a color analogous to the English concept of the color red. Most personnel, except those working on anomalies related to SCP-1, possess no knowledge of the entity. As part of SCP-2317's Item number: SCP-1. Object Class: Safe. Formerly Keter. Special Containment Procedures. Following the recent investigations of Dr. Robert Montauk, no action is currently needed to contain SCP-1. It is functionally self-containing, and any Foundation interference may harm or alter its containment irreversibly. No Foundation personnel are to engage with any new matters related to SCP-1, with the exception of related anomalies already in Foundation containment. Description: SCP-1 is an entity ordinarily referred to as the Scarlet King. SCP-1 is currently located in several alternate dimensions simultaneously, and is unable to enter the Prime Dimension. However, it is believed to have been repeatedly attempting entry for a period of under 300 years, previously several thousand. SCP-1's physical, mental, and conceptual properties are unknown to the Foundation. Nevertheless, it continues to assert a strong influence on a number of individuals and events within the Prime Dimension. It is believed that SCP-1's existence represents an ongoing but dormant Tashkent class cross-pollination scenario. Should SCP-1 enter the Prime Timeline, an irreparable alteration to normalcy will occur. Containment of SCP-1 is, however, unnecessary. Previously top priority. Any attempt to alter SCP-1's classification or object class will result in immediate dismissal from the O5 Council. References in art and oral tradition to SCP-1 appear across a wide variety of human and non-human cultures across the universe, including in communities which have never previously had any contact with one another. Common descriptions within these traditions are of a red creature of immense size, ordinarily wearing a golden crown or other headdress signifying royalty. Although the names ascribed to SCP-1 vary, the majority contain two elements: a word signifying some form of royalty combined with a word signifying the color red. Cultures which do not have a concept of the color red but follow this naming pattern will universally use a color analogous to the English concept of the color red. Most personnel, except those working on anomalies related to SCP-1, possess no knowledge of the entity. As part of SCP-2317's containment procedures, Level 4 personnel are to be informed that SCP-2317 is, in fact, SCP-1. The truth of this is unknown, although it is a hypothesis which has received strong support among several members of the Council. The apparently multi-dimensional nature of SCP-1, however, renders the possibility of SCP-2317 being any more than a single aspect of SCP-1 unlikely. It is unknown when SCP-1 was discovered. The loss of several archives containing the Foundation's origins in the 1889 snarling coup has prevented a full reconstruction of events. Although an investigation shortly following, a variety of groups dedicated to bringing SCP-1 into the Prime Dimension have existed over the years. The most recent of these has been the Children of the Scarlet King, which was destroyed in a joint GOC-SCP operation in January 2018. Its former leader, Depeche Spivak, is currently in Foundation custody under the designation Person of Interest 3172. Update, 1st of June 2018. SCP-1 has recently been the subject of an extensive investigation by Dr. Robert Montauk, project lead on SCP-1, 231, and 2317, and deviser of Procedure 110 Montauk. Based on the results of this investigation, SCP-1 has been downgraded to safe following a decision taken by the O5 Council. Upon the request of the former O513, a number of documents related to this investigation can be found below. In order to provide context and further information pertaining to this theory, these have been curated, categorized, and included by the former O513 herself with the permission of O51 in order to provide some context to this reevaluation. Phase 1. Blood. Document 1. The following is an interview between Dr. Robert Montauk and POI 3172. Date, 1st of April, 2018. Interviewer, Dr. Robert Montauk. Interviewee, POI 3172. Location, Site 713, Interview Room 2. Again, Dr. Montauk. I don't understand what you people want from me.
What do you do, Depeche? I'm sorry to do this to you again. I think it's silly.
It won't let me carry.
What we want from you are answers.
It's been what? Weeks? Months? You've dragged me down here out of your interview rooms and asked me these endless questions. Well, you or one of your lackeys.
I'm sorry if you've been made to feel uncomfortable. It was my intention, but it's hard to keep tabs on everything anymore. Have the guards been treating you badly in any way?
No, not really. I can't really complain. It's just their eyes. They look so dead, so cold.
If you like, I can rearrange some personnel and put someone else on your security detail. We're a bit short-staffed around here at the moment. A lot of our best folks are away. And then there's the paperwork and the endless oversight. There's been some trouble with... Well, you don't need to know about that.
You weren't what I expected, you know.
You thought the Foundation would be different?
No, I thought you would be.
You've heard of me.
Oh, what have you done? The Procedure 110 Montauk. Well, the people in my circles have done some dark things in their time. But that...
I merely did what was necessary, Mr. Spivak. As a Foundation researcher, and as someone who doesn't want to see his loved ones die.
Yes, that's very like the Foundation, isn't it? Everything done is justified by what is necessary. You see the world, the people moving through it, living lives touched only by totalizing universal laws of society and physics, and everything has to be channeled through those laws, and that which lies outside is to be contained. It's all so very simple.
You wouldn't say that if you worked here.
Some of us called you evil. I don't think that's quite it.
That's kind of you to say. And to tell you the truth, I don't think you're quite what I expected either. especially given your reputation.
I've been told I am a hard person to get along with. Too cryptic, they say. One person even called me airy.
I don't think I'd call you airy. Your head may be in the clouds, but you seem to be maddeningly smug about it. Granted, not as smug as some of the delusional cults who have passed through here. I suppose I should be thankful for that at least.
I'll try not to take that as an insult. But this is what I don't understand. Your procedure, 110 Montauk. No,
I can't discuss that, I'm afraid. We must get on. Time and tide and all that rubbish. Please tell me what the children of the Scarlet King's overall intention was.
the children are dead. There's not much left to tell you.
I would like to hear things in your own words.
Then I suppose you could say that our intention was to save the world.
And how are you planning to go about doing that?
By bringing the Scarlet King into this reality, of course. You know this already.
But how would that save the world?
Doctor, is this really necessary? You took away his daughters years ago and ended up killing most of them. You have already annihilated our society, and I'm sure you know all about what went on within it. We worshipped the king, pretending he was Satan or some other ancient god or evil. Our inner circle believed in violation as the ultimate holy act. We failed. You and the book burners destroyed us, and the matter has been put to rest.
You seem awfully calm while describing the destruction of your life's work.
What else can I do? I know how this is going to play out. Maybe I always did.
Why do you refer to the Global Occult Coalition as the Book Burners? Were you and your group affiliated with the Serpent's Hand?
It's complicated.
It's a simple enough question.
But there isn't a simple answer. Still, yes, we were affiliated with the Serpent's Hand. Most of us passed through there one time or another. They will to disavow us, of course. Speak to them about us. They're not monsters like we are. They have moral precepts, you see. Their whole point is to look for wonder, and since they see no wonder in the king, they repudiate us utterly. But they know, deep down, they need us.
They need you? What for?
For the same reason they let us live. We raided the library, fought them, skirmished with them. They had a huge quantity of dirt on us, far more than you do. But they never finished the job. They're as bad as you jailers, in their own way. The same compartmentalization, the same singular goals. Their existence is based in nothing concrete. The empty time of history. That's all. Indeed, they came into being the same time as you. You're more similar than you realize.
That's impossible. The Serpent's Hand has been documented as existing long before the Foundation had any...
No, you missed the point. The library's always been there, yes. But not the Hand. The Hand was something new, like you all are. You think anybody ever cared about wonder in the old days? Nobody cared about wonder. They cared about food, family, and blood.
What's that supposed to mean?
It means... you wouldn't get it anyway, but the Hand would. I think even the book burners do, in their own way. But the Hand is scared. They try to blot us out, forget us. We're what they should be, but never can be, you see.
Look, Depeche, I have tried to make things more comfortable for you. We need some give and take. You're speaking in cliched, cryptic riddles. I want some answers.
I can't tell you everything. You wouldn't treat the information properly. You treat it as scientific fact, something to be swallowed, understood, contextualized.
And what's wrong with that?
Why are you doing this, Doctor? Why are you dredging this stuff up again?
I shouldn't tell you, but screw it. I'm tired of this. I've been working on SCP-1 for 2 decades. Project lead for almost 9 years after I came up with the procedure. I don't know. I'm tired. Everywhere I turn, I see the Scarlet King, but nothing about him makes any sense. Some big-horned devil, arcane blood god. It's all so small, so obvious. The Foundation has changed in the last decade, you see. We've faced conceptual demons, malevolent genre dwellers, sevenfold destroyers, all of which are far worse than some old sacrificed deity. But there, behind everything, I see this smiling fire. That dread. That old dread. It lingers. And this is despite seeing horrors far less easy and far more subtle trying to break the world on a daily basis. I just want to understand, I suppose. Peel back the layers. The tales upon contradictory tales, and find out who he really is.
You're being awfully candid.
To be honest, I've stopped caring. This job gets to you. The things you have to do. The regrets. Well, I'm too high up for anybody to touch me now. And I've run into too many dead ends to get hung up over protocol by this point. Just tell me something, Dipesh. Anything.
Okay, look. I like you, Montauk. You must be a cold-blooded bastard somewhere in there, or you wouldn't have come up with... Well, who am I to judge, eh? I'll tell you where to start.
I'm all ears.
There are 3 things to understand about the Scarlet King. 3 laws, which, when put together, make up a complete picture. 1 is the law of blood, 1 is the law of concrete, and 1 is the law of howling.
3 laws, huh? That the king set down for his followers, or that were imposed upon him?
Both. The first was his law, the second was somebody else's, and as for the third... well, you'll find out about the third when you've cracked the first 2.
Very cryptic.
That's all I can tell you for now. You need to learn in the proper way.
That's really all you'll give?
That's all.
All right, Dipesh. Good talking with you, as ever.
Document 2. The following is an extract from the memoirs of one Jack Hurst, a defector from the Children of the Scarlet King. Hurst was a high-level reality bender, capable of entering the bodies of humans in the past and experiencing their thoughts and emotions firsthand. The following is a description of what Hurst called the Battle of Gemeleth, purportedly a battle between SCP-1 and his followers against a group called the Children of the Urns. Hurst apparently experienced the battle from the perspective of a foot soldier in SCP-1's army. These memoirs were written shortly before Hurst's death in 1976. They were among the first documents consulted by Dr. Montauk during his investigation.
The fortress was monumental, made of volcanic rock and jagged iron, and built into a vast mountain. Every measurement, every angle was calculated to promote the king's ideology. The steel slats and bars may have seemed to be jutting out in random half-sawn directions, but if you could see the whole, then you'd see the symmetry. It was a perfect expression of cosmic order, expressed in endless sevens. It's a tough trip to remember, but bits and pieces come back. We were slaves, I think. We had been taken from a far-off land. The nobility looked down upon us with cruel eyes, but the king didn't care. He rewarded us, and so we were the instruments of his rule. When a village required the justice of the king, we would descend upon them with blood and iron. The villagers feared us, and that felt right to me. But when the horde came, with fire and burning and their cries of freedom, the villagers were still just as scared as they had been of us. That was not the fear of their master, I think, but the fear of anarchy. They did not know which way to turn. In the end, most betrayed us. Many had their daughters taken by our master. Old rites, blood rites, arcane rites. But we stood upon the battlements, loyal to the last, our hearts bursting with happiness at the rightness of it all. I'm still not sure exactly what was going on. It was all so chaotic and full of red smoke, but I could feel my host's bloodlust. We stood and watched and waited. The sound of rubble and explosions came from across the hill, and the last battle begun. Then something strange happened. My host suddenly felt afraid, and he and I were somewhere else. The sky was not red, but black. I was not a slave, but part of a conscripted rabble. The peasants looked up at us. They were all starving. They held out their hands, begging, pleading, praying. The wind was their master, and it screamed at them. The horde was coming, but they, too, were starving. Then the scene flickered black, and I was in my host again, under a scarlet sky. The king's voice raged. The rabble of his armies was fleeing to the gates, but they would not open. Our arrows, coated in flame and pitch, flew back again, but the horde was undaunted. In my mind, I could see nothing but the fire of the king. I drew my sword. We all drew our swords. We all charged into the fray. And then, as it were, the scene changed again. There were no battlements, only the dark sky and the wind and a more ragged and lonely sky. The peasants pleaded, the nomads laughed, cheered, wept. The wind will rage no more, they said. The two scenes shifted in and out. A red fort bled into a black field. I have ruminated on it a long time, but I think they were the same battle, seen through two different eyes. Or at least the memories of two different battles. The whole thing felt strange. It was not like most of my trips. It was a half-remembered cacophony. Two ideas ripping at each other. There was a timeline showing what really happened in that blackened wasteland, and there was one that had been made to be true, imposed throughout time on the truth. The last thing I remember was being sliced by a nomad sword, of a frail urn being held high, of 7 brides being ripped from a castle, or they were ripped from a field, taken as the spoils of war by some obscure tribe in some lost steppe. I remember the king screaming, writhing, thrashing as he was sealed. And then I died and woke up, back at the ritual. For a second I wondered if the others had just made up the king and sent some image of him back to the past. But I don't think that was true. They lacked the power. And besides, it was never a total lie. There was something in that wicked wind that reminded me of some of the older rituals. It was then that I decided to leave the children. I went that night without a word. They didn't stop me. Probably figured it wasn't worth the effort. They were so certain in the success of their mission, but I wanted no part in that anymore. The things I saw were based upon the law of blood, and I can only pray that they never come to pass.
Document 3. The following is a log of all known attempts by anomalous groups to force SCP-1's entry into the Prime Dimension since the containment of SCP-231. Date: the 1st of March, 2009. Group of interest: Provisional Children of the Scarlet King. Details of attempt: Summoning attempt was performed by the ritual of smearing blood and then the destruction of rubble recovered from the demolition of the Cochrane Gardens Housing Project complex in St. Louis, Missouri. It is believed that the Children of the Scarlet King manipulated state officials into the demolition over the course of several years, and that this splinter group continued their work as the original Children went into decline. Result: attempt prevented by a Foundation raid. Date: 12th of May, 2012. Group of interest: Red Guards. Details of attempt: appeared to be using the blood, bones, and spinal fluid of several animals, combined with ritual chanting to create a portal to SCP-1. A large number of SCP Foundation logos, carved out of bone, were placed around the ritual site in a defensive position. These logos were slightly incorrectly carved. Result: attempt not detected by any group of interest, and came extremely close to success. However, it appears a critical mistake in the words of ritual instead resulted in a large explosive blast and destroyed all the assembled members of the guards. It remains unknown why the guards apparently wished to invoke Foundation protection for their ceremony. Date: February 7th, 2014. Group of interest: Global Occult Coalition. Details of attempt: unknown. Result: unknown, but did not succeed. Global Occult Coalition records pertaining to the incident are missing, with the exception of the name Operation Historical Frontier, with the mission statement to exacerbate tensions of historical time in order to bring forth and destroy a significant occult threat. It is believed that several Global Occult Coalition operatives were killed in the attempt. Date: 1st of January, 2017. Group of interest: Army of the New Dawn. Details of attempt: attempt involved the ritual burning of several calendars adhering to the Gregorian calendar, while members of the group raised up blood-soaked calendars adhering to the Julian, Hijri, and Persian solar systems to an effigy of SCP-1. Result: attempt prevented by members of the Serpent's Hand. All materials were recovered and taken to the Wanderer's library. Date: 17th of September, 2017. Group of interest: the Serpent's Hand. Details of attempt: largely unknown. Details are unclear, but it is believed it involved the highly selective destruction of particular books within the Wanderer's library. Result: attempt was purportedly foiled due to a schism in the group. The resulting casualties severely damaged the library. Phase 2. Concrete. Document 4. The following is an interview between Robert Montauk and POI 3172.
Date: 14th of April, 2018. Interviewer: Dr. Robert Montauk. Interviewee: POI 3172. Location: Site 713, Interview Room 2. Hello again, Robert.
Hello, Depeche. I looked up your laws. I'm afraid I'm none the wiser.
You'll get there. What did you find?
The law of blood is referenced a few times in quite a few places, but I couldn't find any concrete information.
I worried you wouldn't.
There was only one source of real use. A description of something called the Battle of Gemeleth, written by a defector from the Children.
Hurst. Yes. I read his memoir once. The only genuine witness of the King's sealing. Although a rather unreliable one.
How on
Oh,
earth?
he embellished. He didn't leave straight away. I stumbled upon some early draft in his things shortly before he left. I was young back then, and I remember how passionately he argued after his vision. Said we got the king all wrong. That he wasn't a demon or a monarch. But that he was a voice on the wind. When I was older and had figured it all out, I was surprised how close he got to a fuller understanding. He just wasn't quite there.
I should have guessed he was a liar.
He's not a liar, exactly.
Just
a
kind of
little lost.
I should have painted
And you only have my word for it, Doctor. Which the Foundation has made abundantly clear it doesn't trust.
There's no reason to doubt you. What do you have to lose? You seem as eager for me to learn the truth as I am.
True. And on that note, I have a question, if I may.
Shoot.
They're all just saying
The
I
longer I
see.
keep you talking,
And this
the
is
greater
why
the
we
chance you'll
lose.
slip up and tell me something you
This is
shouldn't.
why I don't
Do you know why the Procedure 110 Montauk actually works?
Really don't.
Sorry,
fucking
Depeche, I
useless.
can't talk to you about that.
It's okay. I think I know the answer anyway. Tell me, did you lose someone?
I don't know what you mean.
I'm sorry to bring back painful memories, but I have looked at the Foundation archives too, you know. It was necessary back in the day to check up on what your lot were doing to his daughters. I know that your brothers...
Stop talking. This interview is not about my private affairs.
I'm sorry, Doctor, I didn't mean...
Please state the meaning of this law of blood.
Isn't it obvious? It's the way the Scarlet King ruled. There was order, but it was through the imposition of an iron will on the peasantry, through armies of slaves, through a nobility bred to be cruel, the realities of the world of his day in his corner of the globe.
What does this have to do with SCP-1's nature? What are these other laws?
I suggest you look into the second.
I don't have time to play your games. Tell me now, POI 3172, or you will be escorted to solitary.
Oh, Dr. Montauk, I am sorry, but you must look for the law of concrete. That is all.
This interview is terminated.
Document 5. The following is a page from the 1891 report of Agent de Beauvoir on Lost Foundation archives following the 1889 Snarling coup. The report was lost shortly after de Beauvoir's termination in 1895, along with several other documents from the Foundation archives. This page was recovered through unknown means by Dr. Montauk. No other materials from these data losses have been found.
Summary. The documents lost are extremely extensive, covering a wide range of data concerning the Foundation's early history. In particular, several documents related to SCP-1 have gone missing. However, my investigations have provided me with a great deal of information, and I believe that I can say with some certainty that the historical record, as stated in Scranton's comprehensive history, remains broadly intact, albeit with some modifications I will detail below. Scranton's work states that the Foundation was founded in 1824 by the merger of 13 worldwide organizations, with a particular interest in preventing awareness of anomalous activities. The most prominent of these were the Foundation of the Secure Containment of the Unnatural, the Divan-e-Jadui, the United Sites of the Department of Unexplained Affairs, the Council of Five Overseers, and the Committee of Paranormal Ethics. Scranton goes on to tell us that this was done in response to the threat posed by SCP-1, and that the early Foundation had an extensive role to play in that anomaly's containment. However, the documents I have before me present a rather different picture. It appears that the Foundation was not founded in response to SCP-1 at all. Indeed, I cannot find any references to the present SCP-1 prior to 1826. It appears to have been a highly publicized attack by SCP-173 in New York, which was the initial impetus for the Foundation's formation. SCP-173's still unresolved containment breach in 1854 is, I believe, the reason for the alteration of the record. Scranton's embarrassment at...
Document 6. The following is a table compiled by Dr. Montauk. It shows a series of votes passed by the O5 Council correlated with incidents potentially or certainly involving SCP-1. Date of vote, 9th of July, 1844. Description of vote, vote to officially standardize documentation across the SCP Foundation. Passed 13-0. Related SCP-1 incident. A series of hymns devoted to SCP-1 heard outside Site 1. Date of vote, 1st of February, 1857. Description of vote, vote to standardize containment procedures for SCP-1, passed 12-1. Related SCP-1 incident. All members of the O5 Council reported dreaming of an unidentified man of South Asian origin weeping. Date of vote, the 9th of November, 1895. Description of vote, vote on the termination of Agent de Beauvoir, passed 6-5, 2 abstentions. Related SCP-1 incident. A large quantity of blood-stained sheets of paper with the words SCP-1 written in blood over each sheet spontaneously manifested in the bedrooms of all members of the O5 Council. The blood was later identified to belong to Agent de Beauvoir and an unknown species of poultry. Date of vote, 10th of October, 1902. Description of vote, vote on the implementation of the site system, passed 10-2, 1 abstention. Related SCP-1 incident. A location in North America saw sudden and unexplained wildfires. Residents reported seeing dragons made of fire and a horned crown appear in the night sky above the area. The wildfires were found in 2007 to have begun at the location of the future Site 19. Date of vote, 23rd of January 1922. Description of vote, vote on the containment procedures for SCP-2317, passed 4-3, 6 abstentions. Related SCP-1 incident. Several cracks appeared in the earth near Containment Area 179. Red smoke was seen pouring out of each crack for 7 minutes, before the cracks abruptly closed. Date of vote, 8th of February, 2011. Description of vote, vote to unify the project purviews of SCP-1, SCP-231, and SCP-2317. Passed 10-2, 1 abstention. Related SCP-1 incident. A series of hymns devoted to SCP-1 heard outside Site 1, interspersed with the sound of laughter. Date of vote, 31st of March, 2018. Description of vote, vote on the object class reclassification of SCP-2317. Passed 9-4. Related SCP-1 incident. Several interdimensional rifts open outside Containment Area 179. These rifts alternated between opening on Universe Kappa Erakesh and opening onto an unknown dimension. This unknown dimension is characterized by the presence of a large quantity of red smoke and an unknown number.
Y'all are funny. Y'all are funny. Oh my god. He said just let him be autistic. Hmm. Is that why they is that why at the end they decided to gank me and then use that 4 feet? That was dumb. My man's used this 4 feet just to kill him. Yep, exactly what it was. Yeah, you could. Knowing I was like 1 hit away from just dying.
You lost Zone A.
Yes, that was funny. That was funny as shit. The warden, I know the warden was mad. I killed the griffin. He said you need to prank that soldier boy. I'll just. Isn't that the Orochi that was on our team? No, I'm just sitting there and I'm like, where did he come from? Shot his ass.
You lost Zone C. You captured Zone A.
Oh, no. Oh. And then... Oh, that's okay, but...
You captured Zone C.
Oh, now you know how to use your punish.
You lost Zone A.
Now he knows how to use his punish. Oh, no. I just fucked that up.
You captured Zone A.
I seen that motherfucker coming. That man was quick to throw that ball. Welcome to full honor.
You captured Zone A. You lost Zone A.
Okay, y'all don't need me over here. Let me go help them at A. Okay, let me back up a little bit.
You lost Zone C. You captured Zone A.
And that is how you do it, though. Oh yeah, I was painting the shit out of that warden. Once I realized he was just a turtle, I hate facing against drawing paint drawing.
You lost Zone A.
That one's on me. Where's my go around? Sorry, I was gonna light stream out of the Orochi. Man, that Orochi was light spamming the shit out of me and I still didn't get no revenge.
Your team is breaking.
Hey, how are we breaking shit? My my bad, bro. I'm sorry. I didn't expect him to move out the way. And then he forgot how to punish me. And then I get hit by feet. He shot me with a longbow. I had 25% of my health left. He killed me with a longbow. That's funny. Okay, it's 9:30. I'll wake her up, and then I'll be back. I don't think I'm using the pirate this time. Okay, with that.
My girl, you've been missing out each day. Car to the truck to the seaplane. Out in LA, I've been smoking for a week straight. Girl, you know how I get about these days. Vanilla sweet like you, turned to out the Azu. Baby, I ain't in the bad mood. I could take another 42. I could use a little less you. I ain't really in the bad mood. I ain't go sweet like you, but you got a little attitude, so you better throw it back, boo. I ain't really in the bad moods. I ain't really in the bad moods. No, no, no. Said that she at SMU, just came out of year 2, yeah. Said she go to ASU, and it's always 92, yeah. Same way you be acting in my condo, same way you be acting on the B-side. Baby, if you wanna argue on a weekend, I don't really wanna see you on a weeknight, no. Brown out shawty with a braid in the front, she a bad little vibe. But it's always bad moves, yeah, always bad moves like you. Turn to out the Azu. Baby, I ain't in the bad moves. I could take another 42. I could use a little less you. I ain't really in the bad moves. I ain't go sweet like you, but you got a little attitude, so you better throw it back, boo. I ain't really in the bad moves. I ain't really in the bad moves. No, no, no. Attitude ain't cute, not the least bit. Yeah, I got you at the crib doing free things. When you do it like that, it's my weakness. Flatfoot tryna put you on some beaches. Laid out with a headband. You my right, you my heart, you my left hand. I don't care about your ex, you a dead man. Vacay, girl, you leaving with the best man. My ex girl look like an angel. Matter of fact, you can't even stay faithful. Got a cute little thing, you replace me. Now you're on the outside, just hating. In a bad mood, turn to out the Azu. Baby, I ain't in the bad moods. I could take another 42. I could use a little less you. I ain't really in the bad mood. I ain't go sweet like you, but you got a little attitude, so you better throw it back, boo. I ain't really in the bad moods. I ain't really in the bad moods. No, no, no.
Man, I'm not getting revenge fast enough, but that's really it.
That bitch think I'm cute. Smoking on biscotti, this is not your kind of book. Shawty always texting me while I'm up in the book. She like, oh no, you too busy. So she say we doing like, why? She asks me to talk, I'm like, why? Shorty get right on me, huh? OMG, like, pull up in an AMG, huh? Racks on me, like, who won't fuck with me, huh? She'll get deleted. Heard you says from my demons, cause I always keep them. You're mine, but I don't have time for you. No lie, I've been on my grind like, divine, but it feel like something missing. Maybe when I'm sipping, codeine when I'm pissing. You one part I had to go get it, so I went to give me a sack, yeah. Calling my buddy, I tell him I got him, we not going.
That was a GG. I don't even think I used 1 feet. The Pirate of Vanguard, or is that a hybrid? Hybrid. Okay, so that's not gonna work. Let's get back to this.
(2018) SCP-1
West. We're on a timeline. Concrete as we shamble
of all members of the O5 Council. The blood was later identified to belong to Agent de Beauvoir and an unknown species of poultry. Date of vote, 10th of October, 1902. Description of vote. Vote on the implementation of the site system. Passed 10-2, 1 abstention. Related SCP-1 incident. A location in North America saw sudden and unexplained wildfires. Residents reported seeing dragons made of fire and a horned crown appear in the night sky above the area. The wildfires were found in 2007 to have begun at the location of the future Site-19. Date of vote, 23rd of January 1922. Description of vote. Vote on the containment procedures for SCP-2317. Passed 4-3, 6 abstentions. Related SCP-1 incident. several cracks appeared in the earth near Containment Area 179. Red smoke was seen pouring out of each crack for 7 minutes, before the cracks abruptly closed. Date of vote, 8th of February, 2011. Description of vote. Vote to unify the project purviews of SCP-1, SCP-231, and SCP-2317. Passed 10-2. 1 abstention. Related SCP-1 incident. A series of hymns devoted to SCP-1 heard outside Site 1, interspersed with the sound of laughter. Date of vote, 31st of March, 2018. Description of vote. Vote on the object class reclassification of SCP-2317. Passed 9-4. Related SCP-1 incident. Several interdimensional rifts open outside Containment Area 179. These rifts alternated between opening on Universe Kappa Arikesh and opening onto an unknown dimension. This unknown dimension is characterized by the presence of a large quantity of red smoke and an unknown number of human voices screaming from within. Document 7. The following is an extract from the 1972 political work Manifesto for Old Order by Children of the Scarlet King member Adrienne Cartwright. Cartwright's work is only found in unpublished copies among anomalous circles and groups related to SCP-1. Fragments such as this were recovered by Dr. Montauk during the course of this investigation.
The sin of modernity is vital to understand. It is not that we glorify the pre-modern. The suffering was very real and very extant. We must not fall into the trap of seeing the past as a series of beautiful Arcadias, full of dancing around maypoles and shepherds living in pleasant anarchy. The past was brutal, but it was also real. It wasn't really the pre-modern too. That is merely how historians have characterized it. They are wedded to their theory of modernization and can conceive of no alternate mode of development other than a singular drive towards the contemporary West, with other modes of living seen as being stuck in some imagined earlier place on a timeline. It's all nonsense. The people of the past were capable of seeing the world as it really is. Those of us who have joined the King's forces can all see this truth, that there is something very, very wrong with the world in which we live. Our buildings are made of calcifying, peeling concrete as we shamble each day to jobs and lives created solely for the purpose of maintaining their own system. But there is no other way to live. Socialism, anarchism, syndicalism, these are little more than constructed pipe dreams. The frail thoughts of lesser men trying to impose their antiquated prejudices on the world around them. No, there is only one alternative way to live. To cast down the law of concrete is to raise up the law of blood. We must learn what it is to die, to be enslaved, truly, brutally enslaved, with no compassion or compunction from our masters. We must learn what it is to be taken towards a single purpose, to know and truly understand our lack of agency. We must be beholden to the world of gods and darkness, the tempest-tossed refuse of a race of fools. We must kill modernity, post-modernity, with all its analysis and sneering observation. There is only one rule, the rule of chaos, for humanity, for life, for the Scarlet King.
Phase 3. The Howling. Document 8. The following is an interview between Dr. Robert Montauk and POI 3172.
Date, 29th of April, 2018. Interviewer, Dr. Robert Montauk. Interviewee, POI 3172. Location, Site 713, Interview Room 2.
Hello, Depeche.
Hello, Dr. Montauk. I hope our last meeting...
I'm sorry for my unprofessional behavior. You touched on a sore subject.
Of course. I will try to refrain from doing so in the future.
Shall we begin?
This time, Doctor, I have a question for you.
Indeed. Suppose it can't be worse than your last.
Well, What do you know of the origins of the Scarlet King?
Zone A.
There are many theories. A creature from the abyss, some shambling thing of old, a denizen of Alagata.
They are all, I will not say lies, but the texts have changed. The knowledge has changed. The past itself has been changed by what came after.
He's changed the past.
No. His past has changed for him. But now you tell me something. This should be a give and take, after all.
This is not.
Why did you approve the mock talk procedure? I'm sorry if I've offended you.
I thought I made it clear that this is none of your business.
See, the thing I don't get is that it should not have worked. Not in the way the Foundation does.
This is not under discussion.
What happened to Jacob, Doctor? What happened to your brother?
This interview is
Oh, all right, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to hurt you, Doctor, truly. I just want to understand. It's just, it shouldn't have worked. The child should have been born.
I was angry. When I drew it up, it was unprofessional.
Did you think we took Jacob?
Well, what the hell was I supposed to think? I start looking into your lot, making discovery after discovery, and then he Look, this isn't relevant.
All right, I'm sorry I asked. But can we agree that this was not a decision made scientifically? That it was done in a moment of rage, fury, hate?
I didn't... The girl. I didn't mean
But
to...
you did, Doctor. Look, I'm sorry. I don't mean to dredge these old wounds up for you.
Why are you then?
Because I just want to understand. And now I think I do. How? You... I don't know where to begin. Let me go back. I don't think your department has very much activity in recent months. Not after the Hands attempt to open the gates, right? Your procedure keeps the girl from giving birth. The Nomads keep fighting their endless war. The spears are safely locked away by the book burners, and the Devourer, well, there's nothing you can really do about the Devourer now, is there?
SCP-2317 isn't SCP-1.
Wasn't SCP-1. But the thing is, you've been telling everyone he is. Technically, you're meant to think that he is, if I understand Foundation hierarchies correctly. You are only a level 4, after all.
I don't understand.
Across every culture, in every city and tribe and civilization, you come across the idea of the Scarlet King. Always the same. An emperor in red with a burning crown and an ethos rooted in some archaic fear of female sexuality. He is always the same. A monster that is all-consuming and terrible, but so understandable. The big bad thing in the dark, full of rape and fire and old blood ritual. Does it never strike you as odd that this is the thing behind the eyes? You've faced monsters far grander and more subtle, as you've told me yourself. But always there's that lingering fear and knowledge of this hidden but oh so simple thing standing behind it all.
You know what strikes me as odd. I told you as much myself. But I also stopped trying to make sense of our world a long time ago. The anomalous does not play by the rules of man. I'm too old to start redefining the universe.
But the thing you don't remember, or don't know, is that this wasn't the only past. The Scarlet King used to be something very different. He wasn't a monarch, and he wasn't always red. He was the whisper on the wind that kept the peasants working, staring up in fear of his righteous famine. He was that inborn knowledge of a world of gods and demons which belied human agency and existed beyond us. He was the cold hunger of famine that had no rhyme and reason, but the cold apathy of a supernatural beyond us. And given enough belief, he could be the Devourer too. He is a creature of truth.
You mean transformed from one type of deity into another?
The Scarlet King is not a deity, Doctor. The Scarlet King is an idea.
What? But he's real, physical. We've seen
I can't tell you anymore. Not yet. Did you find anything out about the law of concrete?
You capture Zone A.
No, not much. I found out that there seems to be a disturbing correlation between the activities of the King's followers and certain decisions made by the Council.
I see.
But there wasn't much else at all. The trail led me to some lost documents, but eventually all I found was a dead end. A document about the Foundation's origins and some insane old child ranting on about modernity.
Cartwright, I presume. That makes sense.
You are a maddeningly infuriating person, you know. Why can't you just tell me this stuff properly?
I am your prisoner. You did destroy my life's work. Why should I help you?
Because you're bored. Because you think none of this matters. And because you love tormenting.
I don't, you know.
The Scarlet King is an idea? What the hell is that meant to mean?
Oh, you're close now, Doctor. Close to the truth. I can see it in you. You will understand. And then you'll understand me. Why I did what I did. Why I was a member of the Children. I know you're curious.
You do seem oddly well adjusted to be a Satan worshiper.
Be careful, Doctor. The law of the howling may break you.
Cryptic as ever, Spivak. Alright. Until next time.
Goodbye, Doctor.
Document 9. The following is a translated excerpt from the 1953 Bengali work, Lala Raja. The work had been lost for some time and rediscovered by Dr. Montauk in the course of this investigation.
And so the British rule continued. Something began to come with them, piece by piece. A shadow at first, a red thing, but it was not whole. It was not even in pieces. It was something that crept up slowly, piece by piece. It met the shadows of our country, the mice bleeding in the rice fields, and it began to take form. It didn't have a mind, not at first. It wasn't enough of a real thing to have one. It was a set of images. It was a blood-red slab of skin taken from the heart of some Christian demon, which was set upon an ancient magician of Hindu rites. But then it was categorized, written down, described with precise scientific terminology. It didn't like that. Things of magic, technology, empire that were never meant to mix, all came together and began to bend the nature of the world. As Europe came to us, more and more as we learned to be civilized, our religion began to change too. Anantashesha was not an ancient and capricious god in the form of an immense snake. It was a moray eel of scientifically unusual size, noted for producing amnesiacs and causing a cognitohazardous effect. We learned that we were Hindu, that we always had been Hindu, and that all our various and mixed beliefs were all variations on a singular ideal. Because the British weren't comfortable enough with another way of living which could not be classified, explained, killed, like a butterfly pinned to a board. But beneath lay this fury, a cry for authenticity, for reality, even as we expressed ourselves more and more in their language and their categories. Even in our struggle against them, it lay in our literature, in Tagore and others. It lay in our adda, in our menial jobs as clerks. The endless struggling tension between the old and new, between modernity and pre-modernity, and in those fault lines, in that cry of rage and fury, in our hatred of the old and the hatred of the new, there rose a hybrid obeying nothing but the law of the howling. There rose the Lala Raja. Because what is he but the cry of a forgotten age? He is the British peasant staring up at the red sky, the Bengali widow's weeping and shaven head, the Aztec priest ripping out another's heart. He is all those things transformed, as modernity does to everything, into modernity's own destruction. He is the resistance, the fury, the hatred of all that was for all that presently is. What we were was full of good and evil and all else mixed together. The happiness, the beauty of the world, the struggles and heartache and reality of it all. But now we have lost almost all of it to the machine, except our rage. and that's all that's left. And thus comes the king. The howl of the destroyed and forgotten and oppressed. His only purpose is to destroy, rape, maim, enslave, and smile. Smile that smile of a king whose enemies weep before him. He cannot exist where there is no modernity, because his entire purpose is given to him by modernity. He is a god of blood, a god of spine and bone and sinew, to remind the denizens of this world that it is not good. It is cruel and hateful, and that is good. That is right. Modernity is a sin, and he is the correction, so that we can once again live as we must. Cold and hungry and starving and very, very afraid.
Document 10. The following note was found in Dr. Montauk's personal quarters. It is believed to have been written shortly after Dr. Montauk's discovery of Lala Raja.
SCP-1 is a conceptual entity created at the boundaries of the modern and the pre-modern. The Scarlet King is a thing of blood and bone and sinew. His rule is just. The justice of the dark. SCP-1 is a creature, emperor. A physical being made manifest in a conceptual. It comes with fear and a sword dripping with wrath and fire. SCP-1 originated in ancient Turkmenistan. It is believed that it was originally a Scythian deity who rode with thunder in their hooves and the bow on their backs, laughing as they...
Yeah, he knows how to deflect, and it looks like he's an indicator watcher when he goes into his one stance. Just be careful of that. Oh no, he's about to get revenge because of my partner, and he left. Good shit. I love seeing a Berserker. That's my main on the PlayStation. Yeah. Rep 70. Oh, yeah. I had it there.
You lost Zone A.
Oh. I think it's already somebody else.
You captured Zone A.
Oh, I had it.